Hey folks, Olly here. Daily Chaos. Yes, it's not daily. The show ain't daily. You probably worked that out. The chaos is. A few people very kindly have messaged me, or I've heard from other people that they've been asking about me, and it's very kind of you. Thank you. All good, all fine. I'm just taking a bit of a break from social media, whatever social media is, propagandist cattle herders, more like it. Anyway, just taking a break, people, just taking a break, just doing my thing, just a bit dumbfounded by where we are, to be frank. That US coup, it succeeded, huh? It succeeded. The United States has fallen, just like the UK and pretty much everywhere else. Over in Canada, Justin Trudeau put out some tweets a couple of days ago or something saying how if you fly into Canada, or if you jet about Canada, you've got to have your PCR test, that swab they shove up your nose, and if it's positive, you've got coronavirus. You've got some coronavirus anyway. Then they will incarcerate you in state facilities. You won't be allowed to go home. You'll be taken from the airport to special quarters. This is the kind of world we're living in now. This is totally mad, and I'm afraid it's only going to get worse with with the globalists in the Oval Office. It sounds like Q was just a lot of nonsense, or maybe hopeful, but inaccurate. And whilst I was never an advocate of Q, I did hope that we were going to see enough people in positions of power, for example in the US military and on the Supreme Court, to say, you know what, that election was a pile of cack. Those dodgy machines, the number of people that were not allowed to witness the count at counties all across the United States, particularly in those swing states, etc., etc., etc. Thousands of depositions. We're supposed to believe these people just perjured themselves, that they're all conspiracy theories. Thousands of these signed affidavits from people who are apparently prepared to commit a felony just for the hell of it, because they like Trump. Anyway, apparently all of that lot wasn't worth investigating, according to the Supreme Court. The US military doesn't seem to give a damn, probably because they were reshaped so heavily under the Obama years, with hundreds of generals kicked out, for example, presumably because they didn't toe the woke line. Anyway, I guess to me that was the litmus test, even more than Brexit, in this fight for our liberty. The US election and what transpired from that, and I don't know. I mean, I see what's going on in the news, and I mean, for example, some people in London or whatever are clinging to people like Lawrence Fox Come on. You know, we either see tens of thousands of people on the streets of London saying enough of this, or we're just accepting it. And the thing is, the media seems to have, when did you hear the media ask any questions to any senior politician or anybody at all about the Great Reset? When did you hear any of that? I bet not once. I will bet not once have you heard a journalist such as, I don't know, Laura Koonsberg or Anderson Cooper, or not once have you heard them ask, what's the truth about this Great Reset thing, Prime Minister? What's the truth about that, please? Is it correct what Justin Trudeau said about this being a great opportunity, this coronavirus, to bring in the Great Reset, i.e. communism for all and fascism by the elite, for the elite, incarcerating the rest of us? That's where we're going, people. It's I'm afraid that Andrew Neil's new news network set up by Rupert Murdoch, for crying out loud, it ain't gonna help. When did you ever ask Andrew Neil ask a question that actually mattered? Oh, he's brilliant at asking questions. The guy's highly intelligent, a highly intelligent crook. Just another con man in the media. Very, very clever, but doesn't use it to good purpose. Doesn't ask the questions that matter. And so the daily news screen is full of idiots like Nicola Sturgeon and, I don't know, Boris Johnson bumbling through whatever he's told to do, whilst we're being told how great are people like Bill Gates, who, as far as I'm aware, isn't even a doctor. He's certainly given my computer a few viruses, that's for sure, yeah. And the worst of it all is that people really are hoodwinked here, yeah? People really are being hoodwinked. Oh wow, yeah, no. The reason there's no flu this year is because we're all wearing masks. And, oh, isn't it great? I no longer need to rely on an immune system to protect me. A very political pox being used for malfeasant purpose. The Great Reset. Nothing's changed, people. Nothing's changed. Sadness is that not enough people are waking up to this, because, in fairness to them, the media's got everybody by the balls. The media is the devil's work. As it stands these days, I tell you, it's the devil's work. People are still listening to Radio 4. Or that news talk bloke, Mike, another idiot bloke who works for, guess what, Rupert Murdoch, who never asks any questions about the Great Reset. And when he was kind enough to respond to my question asking why he never did, he said, oh, when it happens, I'll ask the questions. That ain't journalism. If anything, it's reactionary. But actually, it's not even reactionary, because of the evidence of what's going on with the Great Reset and the globalist fight to enact this new global politic and social structure. It's not even reactionary to wait when great leaders, not great as in fantastic, I mean as in powerful leaders, and people like Prince Charles, the heir to the throne, write about the Great Reset. Oh, I'll ask about that when it happens, says that Mike, what's his name, bloke on in the morning on talk radio. What a fraud you are. What a fraud. Julia Hartley-Brewer, what a fraud you are. Not a single question. Prove me wrong. I don't listen to these people anymore. But I do know that they don't ask a single question, because if they do, they get sacked. That's how pyramids work, and pyramids work. So any of you folks that are watching this, you probably know me. We've probably, had a few exchanges here and there over the years about things like democracy, liberty, social values, and none of this surprises you. And the problem is that any videos like this that get out there beyond our group get censored, get pulled down, or you get called a conspiracy theorist. So I'm taking a break. And it's a lovely day here in Valencia. That's the Med, still there. Yeah. And I'm having a wander. I suppose I should do some shows and stuff. Get back into the site. I will do. Just needed a break. It's been a long few years, It's been I'm sure a lot of you are feeling the same way. I bet there's a load of people that are the same way. I know after Brexit happened, apparently it didn't. Oh, wow, guess what? Northern Ireland now. Where's Brexit? Even that Arlene, what's her name? That idiot from the DUP who said, oh, wonderful, this is all Brexit. And now apparently she realises it isn't Brexit. The Bojo is a fraud. All he did was threaten the union that counts, the United Kingdom, by putting a border down the Irish Sea. Oh, he didn't do that, say the Brexiteers at the Bruce Group. He didn't do, oh, you're such a conspiracy theorist. Yes, he did. And if the ECB goes down, we're still in hock, to the tune of hundreds of billions. That ain't Brexit. That ain't putting the interests of the country first. But hey, be scared. Be scared. Because on the continent, apparently everybody, they're dropping like flies. Really? Take your vaccine. And hope for the best. You can trust Big Pharma. Smoking's good for you. Remember that? Yeah, I'm taking a break. I just say to you folks, this is ironic. Keep talking. It's just that I've kind of run out of road. I'm talking to the same people. And I'm very, very fond of many members of this community. Very, very fond. But the truth is that when I started Daily Brexit, for example, I did it because I was genuinely very concerned about my liberties, and none of that's changed. But I don't think there's enough people who are if you like, quite as passionate, or really more to the point, quite as clued up about what's going on and the danger ahead and what we're fighting for and why. I saw these pictures in the I don't know, the shag press thing, Daily Mail or whatever, about the showing the aftermath of the Happy Monday. When everybody gets to get out and do what they should be able to do 365 days of the year, just be themselves. Except that people were being mindless, and the litter was revolting. I mean, it was like the aftermath of a Glastonbury festival or something, with just mounds of litter piled up. People just don't have any respect. How can you expect them to realize what's at stake and what's going on in the wider world when they can't even take their litter home? They haven't even got the self-respect to make sure that they don't litter their own neighborhood or anywhere, actually. And this is the reason that the US coup was successful, and this is the reason why this world is heading into a state of tyranny, which is just getting worse day by day. My old mate, I'm not going to say his name, many of you know him, he told me how he, in London, was being pressured now by his GP to get his vaccine. He's 50 something, this guy, and he sounded surprised. I'm like, hold on a sec, why are you surprised? I didn't say this, I thought this. Why are you surprised? What do you expect? They will not be happy until we're all chipped, until we're living on in a cashless society where we can all be tracked. They will not be happy until that is the case. That is what is going on. And yet, voter ID. Oh no, anybody can vote. Oh no, postal votes galore. Please bring it on. We love that fraud. We want to make sure the people are elected that we want elected. Look at the US election. If you haven't studied that, if you've just listened to a few reports on the Today program, you haven't got a clue what happened in that election. That was a modern day coup that took place. The beneficiaries are the globalists, that dictator bloke in China, the CCP, the likes of the EU. The kind of people that like politicians fiddling in our lives, telling us how to live. Nigh on all, apparently, evidently, who are bought. Vested interests. But hey, no, it's fine. We can trust them about this corona thing, whatever. What was it, 2 weeks to save the NHS, Boris? Lying bastard. You damn well. Pull them in. It's like a fish on a line. It's like a frog in a saucer, a saucepan full of water. Turn the heat up slowly. The thing won't notice it, and it'll boil alive until it's dead. And it's the same deal with this. The whole way they've dragged out this coronavirus thing. Despite all the anomalies from the official sources, people like the WHO, for example, who've gone all over the place in terms of what we should and should not believe, according to them, who this week said it was so improbable that this thing came out of a laboratory in China. They weren't even there for weeks, if it wasn't months, after this thing kicked off. They weren't allowed in. For so they said. How very convenient. we're being played. We're being so played, and it's frustrating, you know. It's frustrating. I there's some fantastic folks in this community. Day in, day out, they get out there and they're sharing. And I do look at some of that stuff, but then I look at what's going on in the mainstream media, and I talk to people that I know personally who are completely taken in by all this stuff, trying to tell me how I should get a vaccine, how it's selfish not to. This is coming from members of my family, from old friends who are intelligent, or at least they know how to revise or how to memorize a text and then repeat it. Peer pressure, pyramids. It's perfect. Unfortunately, the key to it is the media, because without the questions that matter, while we have frauds like Andrew Neil, who continue to convince morons, frankly, but well-intentioned morons, just very naive people, that they tell the truth, and while they get away with that, I don't see anything useful going on. So I guess I'm taking a bit of a break, and it's a bit defeatist. Yeah, it's a bit defeatist. I mean, I admit that, and I will seek to improve people. So there you go. I better put my bloody mask on again now. I've come off the beach. I was supposed to be wearing it on the beach. My Jewish star. Right, I comply. God bless you, folks. Catch you later. Olly Connelly, Daily Chaos, living in the Matrix.